So let's talk about these two fragrances right here. Tom Ford's Rose Prick and Mason Alhambra's Rose Petals. So people say these are very, very similar. Um, Technically, they are very similar, but I wouldn't say they're like a one-to-one. I can see like the interpretation of what Mason Alhambra tried to do with the Tom Ford, and it's very interesting. They have the middle of the scent is very, very close, but the start of it is not as close. Like, there is sweetness and rose, but I feel like they're two totally different like sweetnesses that you are picking up from each of the fragrances. I feel the Tom Ford has a lot more of a sweetness that is not as overpowering, I would say. The Rose Petals, though, is a lot more like in your face and very strong, like syrup, very candy like. And the end of the fragrance is almost very different to its say. It's close, but not exactly. It's like whatever patchouli they used, they're two like separate, different things, I would say. The only part of the fragrance I would say is like in the middle, like the rose and the sweetness that comes in the middle is very, very close. It's like almost one-to-one. So if I would call it, it would say like maybe 60 to 70% maybe of what it smells like together, like in closeness. And I can see how there's like they got like the idea to like do something similar, I would say, but it's not exactly the same because like from the what I could tell from the Tom Ford, it has some kind of spice. I want to say black pepper in it, and or Szechuan pepper or some kind of spice that kind of perks up your nose a little bit when you first spray it, and kind of mellows down into the mid. But it's very light that if you like don't even you could not even notice it when you first spray it, or kind of goes down into the mid. And with the Rose Petals, you could pick up that saffron for sure. So I feel like that saffron note was put in there deliberately, and I think it works very well with the fragrance. I feel like if you would mix the both of these two would be a great combination. I would say like the sweetness of the start from the Tom Ford, and just maybe adding saffron to the Tom Ford and taking out the black pepper would be very interesting to see.